You're listening to Warrior Talk with Heather Thomas Van Deren and Brant Fricker. Get inspired. Be empowered. Warrior Talk.
Welcome everybody to another Warrior Talk, a unique, new for you Warrior Talk. Get inspired and be empowered. I'm Heather Thomas Van Deren, in case you didn't know, and I am here with my illustrious co-host, Brant Fricker. We're ready to rock and roll. How are you, Brant? Really, thank you for this. It's so cool.
Isn't that cool? I'm excited, Heather. You know, Warrior Talk is seen in so many places, but people are seeing, in real time, not just, the post-broadcast on your page, but Oklahoma City and Dallas and Midland. Of course, your page, my page, another page that people from Australia watch from as well. Of course, YouTube, man, people in different states that comment on how much they love the programming, so to speak. And I'm really excited about today's topic. It's very timely, and a lot of people need to hear it addressed as well.
Oh, my dog almost knocked my lamp over. Go lay down. That's the luxuries of filming at home. Hey, Brant, side note.
Yeah.
I have some exciting news for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
For everybody. Warrior Talk has been nominated again at another venue for Podcast of the Year.
Ah, and the audience is...
It's Praise Factor Awards. And it's in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm really excited. We're kicking off the new year in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
And we're definitely ready to rock and roll. Today's topic is something that a lot of you probably know more about than what you're willing to admit. And that is dreams and visions.
Right.
We're going to talk about that. Both Brant and I have some experience with that. Good, bad, or indifferent. We've got it, right, Brant?
Right. And they say in the last days, young men will see visions and old men will dream dreams, or is it old men will see visions, young men? Hey, now that I've been both, it's been a part of my life. It's been a part of your life, Heather. And I think it's heightened in both of our lives, experiences because of these days that we're in. And again, we're taking another step up. Speaking of a step up, look at this T-shirt. Warrior Talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool. It's got the coat of knighthood on back. Good quality T-shirt. It's fitted. It doesn't hang like a tent because I got broad shoulders. It's very nice. And they can get those at htvministries.com.
That's right. Yeah. Here's the back. I brought this one along today for people to see, but we've got polos, and then we've got the regular unisex t-shirts, and then we've got the fitted ones for the manly men.
For the manly men. Yes, of course. Sometimes you have to. Well, you know what? When I don't get me wrong, but I got broad shoulders, arms a little bit, bigger, but my waist comes in, thank God. However, most shirts just hang like a tent, and it just doesn't work, But these are great shirts. They're good quality shirts, and also, and we don't usually talk about this, but also this mug. I've had this mug for when did we first come out with these mugs? Warrior Talk mugs.
Oh, it's been over a year. Yeah.
I have a lot of mugs.
Absolutely.
I paid plenty of money for mugs through the years, and this is high quality. The inside of it is glossy black and black in, but all the washings. It's never faded. Sometimes you'll get something and it'll fade. Cool design. It doesn't fade. It's really well made. So the quality is high, but the cost is great. And
there you go.
Yeah, the cups and the mugs, and of course the shirts, but high quality shirts. I'm just really happy about that. So thank you so much, Heather. I opened mine this morning. And I'm so delighted. I'm going to wear it at a broadcast later tonight, a remote, because I just love it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we also have these, Brant.
Oh, yeah, the coins.
The coins, and these are the ones that Brant pressed. And we're not here pitching a big sales tactic and everything on you guys, but the bottom line is, by supporting us, you can do the t-shirts, the mugs, and it does. It supports us. It helps us. Paquito, it helps us.
Yeah, and again,
So,
we've never asked for money, we never will, but money has been being spent for distribution and editing and things like that too. So
exactly.
yeah, yeah. But hey, it's exciting because it's also opened up a lot of doors where people I guess they've heard the Warrior Talk message enough that they want to hear it in person, and it's wonderful, Heather. I mean, you probably didn't think you'd be doing as much speaking as you have been. And I've been doing some too, of course, and it's exciting. I think it'd be fun to do some together as well. But you're an effective speaker as well. People have been booking you for speaking. Of course, you sing too, but speaking retreats, and I'm excited to see the response that we're seeing.
Yeah, and it is. God is really, really good to us, and He's using you too, Brant. You've got new doors that are opening for you. And
Yeah.
listen, I get to tell you, well, I have to apologize to everybody for not being here last week on Warrior Talk, but it was really cold, and I was in the middle of calving season, and I had a baby that was due anytime. And praise the Lord, we all made it. We all survived. Everybody was kept warm, and we've got healthy calves on the ground. But there's sometimes that you just you just gotta go. But the week before that, you guys, did y'all pick up
Going to
everything that
verify
Dr.
that
Ron
we are.
Charles was
Oh
bringing
yeah, yeah.
on just man, what an amazing man. And
Hmm.
you've known him for a long time. I saw pictures of you with him and his group back from many years ago.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's a neat guy. So we've got a lot of really good stuff going on. You can go to cubitfoundation.org
Hmm.
and go there, and I guarantee you, you're going to find out some things about Jesus that you never knew.
Things you never knew, and it only supports the Bible.
Hmm.
So many things, and we could talk for years about that. He came into GLC, gosh, 17 years ago, and I produced him all day long, and he just went through 12 shows straight. Stories about the woman at the well, stories about the woman caught in adultery. It was not Mary Magdalene. It was Livia, the governor's daughter, who went on to
Hmm.
help establish Damascus with her father under the Roman Empire. I mean, the list goes on, and so many things about Jesus outside of the Bible that prove. And of course, Time Magazine knows. They put out a lame article every year. Was Jesus real? Well, they know he's real. The Roman Senate annals alone, most of his miracles were recorded by Romans because they were recording everything.
That's
Okay,
right.
The Chosen's a cool thing, and I love Dallas, and we interviewed Dallas. When he first got started. Almost 9 years, I think 9 years ago, but still, it wasn't just Matthew walking around with a pencil, or whatever. It was recorded by
Yeah.
the Romans, and so anyway, it'll blow your mind the things you can learn. I'm actually going to do some teaching on it too.
Good.
But I'm excited about it. But all that to say is Warrior Talk. A high tide raises all ships, and that's why we love to feature other ministries as well. It's not about us; it's about Jesus. It's about you. And in
That's
this
right.
season of dreams and visions, a lot of you are getting dreams and visions right now. It's not by accident. Pay attention to your dreams and visions.
Pay attention and listen. A lot of times, we'll just chalk things off as bad pizza, right?
Yep.
Um, but it's not. Let me tell you something. I have had repetitive dreams, reoccurring dreams that really rocked my world. And I'm going to tell you something. They weren't fun. They can be satanic warfare as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
And Satan has wanted me, Brant, since I was 4 years
Yep.
old.
Yep. Yep. I believe
And,
it.
I started having really, really horrible dreams when I was four, and the same dream came to me almost every single night for till I was 7 years old. And so if you don't think that there's something valid and of importance for spiritual warfare and messages from God,
Right.
guys.
Right.
Messages from God. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that a lot of you have experienced things. We encourage you today, talk about it. Talking about things like that encourages others to speak up and also talk about it. There in Ecclesiastes, Solomon said, "There's nothing new under the sun."
Right.
No, nothing.
Right.
And so there's always somebody that's going through something similar, but they're not going to know about it if you don't tell them. And so that's what we're here for today. Um, Holly, we have scripture says, like you said, it's Acts
Hmm.
2:17 in the
Hmm.
last days. God says, I'll pour out my spirit on all people, and your sons and daughters will prophesy, your young men will see visions, and old men will dream dreams. So, Peter was actually citing Joel 2:28 through 32. Okay, so some of the things that happened during Peter's time, there's so much of it that is yet to be told. And we need to just settle in and we need to say, Hanini, here I am.
Good memory.
Use me. Yes. And
Send me. Well, use me. Wow. Well, also Peter, some similar things caused Peter to quote Joel. If you remember this, the pouring out of God's Spirit among all flesh. And, when I was in Egypt with Dr. Ron in Cairo, we had a lot of Christians, and there are many Christians in Egypt. Millions have turned to Jesus, who they call Isa. They tend to call him Jesus afterwards, but and of course we know, that Yeshua, right? He answers to
mhm,
him, but
yeah.
he was appearing to them in dreams, and it was the same description all across Egypt, and it was wonderful, and it's happening even more. It's happening in Iran right now, as well,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so you got to pay attention to that. But Acts 2:17, when people were talking in the last days, God says, "I'll pour out my spirit among all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy, and young men will see visions." Okay, and your old men will dream dreams. I've been young and I've been old, but prophecy is different than fortune telling. It's different than the scandalous trend that we see going on.
Hmm.
People and believers are not aware. Those who are not familiar with the occult don't know that fortune tellers have been around for a very long time, and that's what a lot of these quote unquote prophets are doing. And you and I have encountered some too, Heather, and that's not what it's talking about. Happy go lucky. I'm going to prophesy to you and your kids as long as you have money. No, that's not prophecy. That's manipulation. It's witchcraft.
Hmm.
It's theft and it's heresy. But prophesying, proclaiming the great works of the Lord, some of that does include telling the future, but it's not like what it's being presented right now. I would dare say that 90% of those who call themselves prophets are not, and you got to be careful.
Yeah.
But there are people that the Lord is speaking to, and He's speaking to you. He's speaking to me. The dreams and the visions are available to all, and pay attention to them. Like you said earlier, Heather. Well, it's just bad
Hmm.
pizza. Well, it was a dream that God told Joseph to marry Mary after Jesus was to be born. It was a dream that told Joseph to go to Egypt. It was a dream, right? A dream, a dream, a dream. Daniel, it was a dream. Joseph,
Hmm.
interpreting dreams, saving humanity. We stood in Saqqara, Egypt, at his silos. He had silos all over the world, by the way, but silos 100 feet deep and 100 feet high. We actually have a huge hybrid seed, and it's wild. But all that to say is, pay attention to your dreams, and especially if before you go to sleep, you pray, Lord, please don't let me have any dreams that are not of you, right? So,
That's right.
yeah, but sometimes you have a personal warning from God as well. A vision from God
Yeah.
that needs to be shared. Not all of them do you share, but some of them need to be shared because of the urgency of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if it's a warning from God. I mean, that is something that does need to be shared. And all dreams should be heeded because you don't know exactly what God might be saying.
Hmm.
And like you said, Brent, some dreams are a personal message that's just for you. Some type of a revelation that where he is just communicating with you. Maybe it's a dream of assurance. Maybe it's a dream of confirming something, or encouraging you to move forward with a plan that you feel like is something that you should carry forward, whatever. Okay. Those dreams are to be heeded. Pay attention to them. But if they are to be shared, share them.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are not to be held to your chest. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, we got to remember that a vision from God has strong implications, and there's certain things that we must share. I mean, we golly, Brent, there's so many
Right.
examples in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
so many
Mm-hmm.
examples.
Mm-hmm.
And if you share something that has happened to you, a vision that you know without a doubt is something that came from God, and you share that, it's not up to you on what happens from that point on, but it's very possible that you may create a movement. Hey, what about that? Listen, right now we've got a movement going on, and it's not a good one.
Right.
You know, if we don't speak up,
Mm-hmm.
others are going to, and they already are. Listen, next week, y'all need to tune in to Warrior Talk, because we're going to have a pastor friend of mine that right now he is battling something against Satan himself.
Right.
And it's ugly, and it's warfare, and it's real, and it's happening right in a little town in Texas. So it's real. That's all I got to say,
Well,
Brett.
it's going to be fascinating too. You know, we're told to oppose evil and to expose the darkness. You know, and I've
That's
been doing
right.
that. You know, with a book that I'm putting together, a false prophet, and of
Hmm.
course the word prophet is marked out, and in its place PROFIT, prophet. You know,
Hmm.
venom from a golden tongue, but this is even worse. This is actual witch, and but you're going to want to tune in. You're going to share it, and of course, you know, again, the days have become evil. The days are evil, and they're not hiding it. You know, I was marked safe from watching the Grammys, and there were people who witnessed for Jesus on that stage. That's great, but the whole
Yeah.
show is a satanic ritual, and they're not hiding it anymore because they know their days are
Hmm.
short. You know, but the days are evil, and that's why it's so important to communicate your dreams. And for
Hmm.
some of you, that's a big step, you know. But hey, you're responsible for what you know. But dreams are very real, and Heather, you've had quite the experience as of late.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know why I have to get the evil ones. But,
Me too.
but I
Yeah.
know I mean, it's a message. It's a message that we're supposed to share. And I did. I woke up that morning and I knew that it was something I needed to share. And I did share it on Facebook, but I will repeat it again. Um, I was walking, and it was dark, and it was like the floor was black that I
Mm-hmm.
was walking on. And as I got closer and closer to this glowing red light, I realized that it was Satan himself coming up out of the floor.
Wow.
Well, when he started coming out of the floor, and I realized that it was him, I turned and I stomped at him, you know, and I ran away, not because I was afraid, but because I was not afraid.
Right.
And the thing about it is, there are a lot of people that are very fearful of him. But if you have God's Spirit living in you, you're going to have peace in the midst of trial. You're going to have peace even if you are confronted with evil itself.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that later on I've really felt was a revelation from that, him coming out of a black floor, he was rising up.
Yeah.
Guys, it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He is rising up. He is calling his minions and his people, fleshly people that are taking, taking the bait and actually pledging allegiance to him. It's coming forth everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that really gets me, Brant, is that they're becoming so bold. And what I want to know is what has happened to the warriors for Christ?
Right.
Why are we not every bit as bold as the people that are following Satan?
Right.
We've got to rise up. We have the power. Remember my little story of the little boy that gave me the little blue rock that was the
Yep.
power to his jet?
Power in his jet.
We have the power to quench all evil this whole thing is about the spirit within us. This is a spiritual thing. God's spirit dwells within us, and if we don't think that we have that power, we're deceiving ourselves. We're allowing Satan to convince us that, well, maybe if we just ignore it, it'll go away.
Right.
And it's not going to go away. We've got
Right.
to do something. We've got to rise up.
We have to, and many are. Um, you can talk about it or you can do it. We're at an impasse in our country, and we have to take dominion.
Yeah.
The enemy is referred to as the ruler of this world, the prince of the power of the air. Whenever we do these live casts, which are also televised, we're taking territory back from the prince of the power of the air. And we do have power to overcome the enemy. He does not have authority over the believer. But you don't hear about this a lot. And we're seeing where the commerce, the commercialization of the gospel has led to no value. And our country is where it's at because, for the most part, the prophets were replaced with politicians and people that are guns for hire. But there are true pastors out there that preach the word without apology. We have to do that. We are warned to stay alert because the enemy is roaming around, as a lion, seeking who he may devour. You look into that. Who will let him devour them? Don't let the enemy devour you with the distraction. Mm-hmm. And so we don't need to do that. We can use our voice. We can choose what we teach our children. We are facing an enemy that's been exposed. The latest thing with the Epstein Island, and I'm sorry to say this, it's serious, but they were eating children. The Clintons, the Obamas, okay, people that you watch their movies and watch their news and listen to their music. Those who were involved with that, how evil. That's what we're facing. It's not a political party. It's good versus evil. They're animals. They're children of the serpent. And so we have to be bold. If not now, then when? If not who? If not you, then who? Right?
Yeah.
If not here, then where? And so we've been sounding the alarm for a long time, and so many things we've been warning about have come to pass. And it's because the Spirit of the Lord is the Spirit of wisdom. And so we got to stand together, but without apology. I don't make any apologies, Heather. I never have. I found out a long time ago, that I should trust God and love people, but trust God. And so all that to say is, say, Lord, here am I. We're the warriors. Here am I. Send me and use me. But it's very important, isn't it, Heather, that people share? They begin to share even if they're not used to sharing.
Yeah, I mean that's the first step in anything is just to do it. And I don't know, how do you do it? Where do you do it? How about starting in your own hometown?
Yeah.
How about getting involved in your school system? How about running for city council? How about just volunteering however you can within your city? Eyes peeled, eyes open wide. Listen, stuff is going on around us that if we're not paying attention, we're not going to see it. I know in my little town 6 miles from here, I mean, Millsap is a little bitty and there's not a whole lot going on here, but it's 6 miles west of here in a little town that I'm close to. It's so terrible. It's a drug filthy city. There are so many things going, and the homeless people are coming out, and because they're being run by drugs.
Yeah.
And it's just so terrible. Well, get out and make a difference. You can do it. Attend churches, attend your church, see what your church has going on. Just be Jesus with fingers and toes. Be Jesus with skin on, and try to make a difference. And I don't know about you, but it reminds me of that song, a Simon and Garfunkel song a long time ago. You look at where we've come, and it's not something bright and shiny and beautiful. We have degraded as a nation. And our little towns used to be cozy and quaint. And remember back, in our parents' days,
Mm-hmm.
when people dressed up just to go to the grocery store, they took pride in themselves, in their appearances, and it was just a whole different world. And the gatherings at the cul-de-sacs in the neighborhoods, oh, what did they call those? Something night out,
Street
in the
parties,
subdivision.
hootenannies.
Yeah, street parties. But it was good and it was wholesome, barbecues and all that. And that's just not happening. Our world is just spiraling out of control, going so fast. And we look at it, and there's that song by Simon and Garfunkel called "In My Little Town." Do
Mhm.
y'all remember that? Do you remember that song, Brent?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
Well, let me just read you the line. It says, "I grew up believing God keeps his eyes on us all. And he used to lean upon me as I pledged allegiance to the wall. Lord, I recall my little town." Well, what's happening in your little town now?
Right,
What can you do? What can you do about it? How can you make a difference?
right.
We're talking about, well, the very last line of that says, "Nothing but the dead and dying in my little town." That was the realization of the song, was nothing but the dead and dying in my little town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about spiritually dying? I think the little towns are spiritually dying. We've got to do something. We've got to talk about our dreams and our visions. We've got to bring some of them to life and make them happen. Let's let's really try to make America great again, guys. It starts with us.
Well, and let me expound on that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We've met our time with an incredible show. I got the nickname Dreammaker 40 years ago, and by the grace of God, nothing has been impossible for me. Not because I'm this or that, but because my mother raised me to believe there wasn't anything I couldn't do. And when I got my eyes off myself and fell in love with people and fell in love
Mm,
with Jesus, the world opened up. And to this day, by the grace of God, if you were to tell
yeah.
me you needed an event in 24 hours started for you in your city, we could do it. We could put it into motion. And what I'm saying is, ever since a few months ago when I was not in this body and I was not in this realm, I already lived like my life had already happened. I already lived fearlessly. I've already lived. I don't have that fear chip, folks. I don't. And
Yeah.
that's from the Lord. I have a grateful heart. That's from the Lord. But let me tell you something. Seeing outside of this realm, seeing that this is only a level of 2 in reality to the level of 10 of what I experienced, I don't waste a day. And there is
Yeah.
nothing impossible for those who believe. This isn't about living your best life or overcoming a bad mood. This is about being the sons and daughters of God that the world has been crying out for. So you better take dominion or it will be taken over you. You
Mm,
better inhabit places of leadership or you will be lorded over. And so will your children be. There's no excuse with the technology we have, with the abilities we have, with the freedom we still have that's always being chipped away by a specific group of people. Look at Iran, what they're going through. They're being slaughtered wholesale, yet they're still gathering by the millions and protesting. All of a sudden, those crying for the Palestinians are quiet. Well, they were paid to be stupid. They were paid to be activists and paid thugs. They're not protesting anything. See the world for what it is and take dominion first in your home,
yeah.
first in your life, in your marriage. You dedicate your marriage to God, man, and speak over your children.
Yeah.
No matter what your situation, if you're a single mom, Jesus is your husband, and God is the Father. Get your children surrounded. Take dominion first in your home, because a strong home or a strong marriage or a strong parenting situation, you're not their buddies, you're not their friends. Your job is to prepare them for life. We're dealing with the aftermath of buddy parents. Look at it. Look at it. First time in
Yeah.
our history, my generation we're raising our own grandkids because of fentanyl, a funded invasion into our country. Open your eyes. And because of my world, counterterrorism, media and other things, I still couldn't believe that the number one fear was public speaking. In 2010, when I was flying around the country being chased by angry Muslims, Obama's Muslim Brotherhood, I couldn't believe that. And where was the church? Okay? Planted 3 of them. No shame, no blame, but you better start speaking up. This isn't a time to try to figure out ways to fill your building to pay for everything. You got to be the warrior that you're called to be, or step down. And we love churches and we love pastors and we admire those who are preaching the word without apology. But it is time. And for those, if God's given you a dream and a vision, according to today's show, he's trusting you with that. Move on it. Speak on it. Live it. And take dominion. We've got to do this. Your life depends on it. Okay? And you know what? Here's something else too. You better vote this year. You better vote. We have a faction of people that have threatened a civil war before the last election. They're evil. You better vote. Don't give away your freedom like Venezuela did, like China did, like Germany did, like Russia did, like Indonesia did. List goes on and on. Same tactics of the media, the Luciferian media. Same tactics of the youth movements. These Marxist centers, these universities that are taking billions of dollars from the CCP and the Muslim Brotherhood. I know this. I'm in that world. So, hey, all the niceties aside, you better become a warrior now or you're going to die. And so if God's given you a dream and a vision, speak on it, pray on it, live on it, be fearless. This life is just a gift and a test. I know. And I'm living it to the fullest with no fear or anxiety. So be encouraged. And I don't want to be so strong, Heather, but good night. Is this not why we've been doing this? Is to help these people have victory in their lives and not be a victim of life, but instead of life happening to them, they happen to life. That's what victory in Jesus is about. So forget all the religion you ever knew, get a hold of that word of God and be the warrior that you're called to be. And if he gives you dreams and visions, be ready to share it.
Boy, and that right there is an example of the leather and lace that you're going to find on Warrior Talk.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much, Brent. And we love you guys. We're serious about this. Share your dreams. Be the difference. We'll see you next week, okay?
Love you.